Rick Without the K James presents, in my opinion, podcast.
So since we're on kids already, our next topic is going to be continue about children. What do you what are you going to teach your kids about dating the opposite sex? I'm going to start with you, Sabrina.
I have a 13-year-old right now, and I've already had these talks with my son and my
You have
daughter.
a son and a daughter.
I have one of each, yes. And I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I've asked my son, like, is there any girls that you like? And he's at the awkward stage, like, no, nobody likes me. You know what I mean? Or I don't like nobody, or whatever. I'm like, whatever, Julian. And he's self-conscious a little bit right now. You know, he's a big boy, and I was like, you're a man. You're my man child, you know? So I was like, you're a handsome boy, you know? And so I just tell him, like, if you're gonna go after a girl, make sure it's someone who's respectful. You know what I mean? Like a respectable girl. Like, you don't want the girl that's gonna be out there doing the most, you know, just because her friends are doing it, just because that's the fad right now. You want somebody who's gonna be, you know, in their right mind. Like, you don't want a woman who's gonna be wild. So I try to teach him that, like, don't get with the girls who are drinking, don't get with the girls who are doing drugs.
So do you teach your daughter the same thing?
Oh, yeah.
Or?
Yeah, don't be a wild girl. Don't be out there drinking. Don't be out there doing drugs. You know, just sit there and study, dude. Seriously, study. Be studious. That's the most attractive thing to me in a man, and for any type of thing in dating is someone who's studious. And like another thing with me for dating too, it's like, okay, before you date, see what you can create with that person. What can you guys create? Instead of just going out and dating and messing around and all this stuff and having premarital sex and, you know, being there just because you're attracted to the other person physically. You know what I mean? How are you guys engaging mentally? So I tell my son that all the time. I was like, get you a girl who's going to teach you something. You guys should be able to learn together and grow. So
when I was teaching my daughter, the direction I took, I did two things, and they're kind of opposite. First thing I tried to teach her was, if you have a gift that you're given, virginity, and you can only give it away one time. Mm-hmm. And if you give it away too many times, it kind of loses its value.
Yep.
And so, you know, I know it's not fair, I told her, but if you're a little girl and you sleep around, you're known as a whore. Mm-hmm. If you're a little girl, if you're a little boy and you sleep around, you're known as a stud. I'm sorry, it's probably not fair. It's not fair.
I'm a stud.
But that's how it's kind of known. Especially, like, we're talking about young kids, so we're talking about high school and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, do you know what kids at that age are having sex nowadays too?
So, but I tried to make sure she understood that she had this special gift she could give away one time, and after that, you know, it's kind of open game, and it'd be nice to give it to a special person. I'm not saying hold it for marriage. I'm not saying anything like that, but don't do it with a guy you meet on a Friday night and you lose it that night. You know, maybe someone you date for a while, someone you really enjoy. The other thing I did preach to her was about, you know, protection. Make sure if you do have sex, make sure that you're using protection, make sure that you're on the pill, make sure that whatever it is you need, you let me know and I'll take care of this for you. Now, she actually went to my mother for those things, I believe, which was kind of nice because her mother wasn't in the picture. She hadn't talked to her mother since she was 4 years old. So, you know, that was the kind of things I had to teach. So for me, I had to teach like kind of two things was, you know, protect it as long as you can, protect the virginity as long as you can, but if and when you do use it, you know, make sure that, you know, you don't have a kid if you're not ready to have a kid. How about you, Rick?
Yeah, I think it's difficult for me being the parent that like my 16-year-old doesn't live with. So, and trying to realize what I can and cannot teach my 19-year-old.
You have two boys, right?
Yeah, I have two boys. Thank God. I tell people, I couldn't raise a female today. I say because it's cool to be a hub, and it's really not. I think, you know. So for a boy, it's a little easier, but I try to teach them to be respectful. You know, I let them know that dad's a little jaded when it comes to women, but there's a reason behind it. So don't be like me. Be respectful. Be as nice as you can be, but be cautious.
Yeah. Because
the dating world will fuck you up. And you know, my 19-year-old is going through a breakup right now. So he's trying to hold on and trying to be tough about it. But honestly, I look at it and I'm like, I don't know if that was the right one for you, but it's not my call as a dad. So I just got to be supportive. But I know I know what I would like from my son. So I just kind of have to teach my child or children to be a little more selective and to see what it is they want in this. And they've got to come up with a plan and figure out what it is they want in this life. So.
My children are still pretty young. They're getting into that age where they're gonna, start having boyfriends and girlfriends
How
stuff.
old are they?
My son's 11. My daughter is 9. She'll be 10 this month, actually. Back to back, real quick. If I could have had them in one pregnancy, I would have. Okay. I didn't really want a girl because it's harder to raise a girl than it is to raise a boy. But when I was pregnant with a boy, I was like, oh, I kind of do want a girl. And so blessed with both. But like since she was a kid, when she was like, oh, hold my dolly, mommy, I'd be like, no, that's your baby. This is grandmama. That's your baby. You take care of your baby. That you hold your baby around the store. You put her in a little carriage. Say, I'm not holding your baby. That's your baby. You take care of your baby. So like since then, I've been shaping her that way. You know what I mean? Like don't have no babies because you're gonna have to grow up.
So that's how you were teaching her.
Technically,
Okay.
and then on that note, like I really just, that's funny, but it really, I've been just trying to tell them that to concentrate on themselves, to love yourself, be good with you, because you can't be good with anybody else until you're good with you. And if you are with someone else and you're not good with you, then you'll let them treat you however they want because you're not treating yourself good. So you need to be your own good boyfriend, your own good girlfriend in order to be with anybody else.
So one quick question about this to the two ladies, and then we're going to end this topic. You both have a boy and a girl. Do you worry about the girl more than you do the boy? We're going to start with you.
Honestly, since they were born, my dad, when he saw my son, he was like, va a romper chocha cuando creza. Like, he's going to be breaking pussy when he get older. You know what I mean? and it's legit. It's a boy. You don't technically worry about them fucking around. You do. You do. Don't get me wrong. But it's a boy. It's different. With a girl, my dad was like, oh, otra puta para el mundo. Like another whore for the world. Right? I was
It
like,
sounded so much
"Damn it."
sexier to you.
It's true. It's true. But on that note, it's like with a boy, you only have to worry about one dick. About a girl, you gotta worry about all of them. So it's
What you're saying, yeah.
It's horrible.
So how about you? Do you notice a difference? 'Cause I don't have a boy, I can't compare it, but I do know having a daughter, I feel like I worry more than like the fathers that have boys. And so what's your take on it?
My daughter's a firecracker, dude. And so
I wonder where she gets that from.
Yeah, true. No.
So it's funny because I'm the only daughter and I'm the oldest. So my dad was very protective over me. And I guess I got a text message at 5 o'clock in the morning talking about dating still. And I already have, you know what I mean? It's my dad's always educating me on certain things about, whatever. But with my daughter, I don't know. Like, of course I'm always going to worry about her, but she's already told me I don't want kids. I want to go to the military and I want to be a mechanic and an officer. Like, you go, girl. You know what I mean?
So you don't worry about
I think
her
at that
boy?
I
age,
don't worry about her too much. You know what I mean? Like not right now. I guess because I haven't seen her really have. I'm always gonna worry about my babies. But my daughter is a very bright and very well educated little girl.
Yeah.
For sure.
She's very mature for it. She's And so my son, I feel like I have to guide him a little bit more on what's acceptable in dating for him. You know what I mean? I feel like he has a little bit more guidance. And I feel like
Sweeter.
Yo, it's your boy Charlie Murphy, my main man, Rick James. That's the one you think, the comedian Rick James. Get up on him.